Joseph, and now my job too? Poor Carol. I will be happy, won't I? That's what Sandra, a colleague from my company, said. She stole my fiancé Joseph right before her wedding. I was so uncomfortable at the company due to her lies that I requested to be transferred to a subsidiary. This action, in turn, ended up disrupting the destiny of Joseph and me. I am Carol, a 27-year-old employee. Since graduating from university, I've been all about work with no time for dating men. However, Joseph, who joined the company mid-career, passionately pursued me, and we have been dating for 2 years now. We decided to get married, and with the wedding 4 months away, I was busy with preparations. Sharon, here's the wedding invitation. I hope you can celebrate with us on the day. Thank you. Oh, the wedding is finally happening. I'm excited. I handed an invitation to my direct supervisor, Sharon, whom I aspire to be like. Oh, by the way, Sandra took the day off today. She's not feeling well. I see. Understood. Sandra, having joined us just 4 months ago, frankly, isn't great at her job. She gets by on charm and cuteness. The men in the office, being kind to women, often help her out. Often, I've had to do overtime because of Sandra's mess-ups or to cover for her. Was Sandra off today? It looks like I can leave early for a change. As expected, work ended on schedule. Joseph had taken the day off, so I decided to surprise him with dinner and headed to his place with groceries. I had a key, so I entered quietly. The entryway was dark, but light shone from down the hallway. I used my phone's light to illuminate my path, thinking how surprised he'd be. I saw something unbelievable. There, a pair of pink high heels. I'd never wear these high heels. I recognized them, and further down the hall, a woman's suit and stockings scattered about. Put them all together, and you'd have Sandra. All that was missing was Sandra herself. Infuriated, I flung open the living room door. Whoa, Carol, what are you doing here? You're usually working overtime. The source of my overtime, cuddling next to Joseph, Sandra glared at me. I was surprisingly calm considering I felt like asking, "Why are you glaring at me?" Or maybe I was furious. What? This engagement is off. We're about to have our wedding. What are you thinking? Ah, what a hassle. I didn't like this side of you, Carol. Sandra's young. She leans on me, and I find comfort in her. It's not for you to decide. I'll say it. Our engagement is off. I'll pay the cancellation fee. Consider it tuition. Joseph spoke with a sleazy smile, Sandra looking triumphant. They say you don't cry when you're too shocked. I understand now. I was too dumbfounded to speak. F up. I agreed to call off the engagement and went home. Once home, I drank too much in frustration and couldn't sleep, facing the next morning sleeplessly. When I got to the office, rumors of our broken engagement had already spread, shocking everyone. Must be Sandra's doing. Carol, can we talk? Sure. Suddenly called by Sharon, I followed her into a meeting room. Is it true what others are saying about the engagement being off? Yes, it's already spread, huh? I don't care about the rumors, but I'd rather not continue working here. Those two aren't even trying to hide, acting all lovey-dovey since morning. They're probably playing me as the villain in their stories. Hearing my honest feelings, Sharon made a suggestion. How about a transfer to a subsidiary? Leave it to me. A transfer? Sharon's response was unexpected, and I felt a bit sad. Why did I, the victim, have to leave? And why away from Sharon, whom I adored? Sharon continued the conversation. Actually, I've been talking about you to my colleagues for a while now, Carol. They've been saying they'd really like you to join us. But you know you're needed at our company, and with your wedding coming up, I had been subtly turning them down. I'm touched and learned Sharon has been speaking highly of me, and even more so by her kind suggestion. My wounds haven't healed yet, so I feel tears welling up thinking about it. Maybe it's time to take on a new challenge. As much as I don't want to let you go, Carol, I think this might be a turning point. You can always come back once things have settled down. I immediately accepted Sharon's offer and transferred to the subsidiary. A year has passed, and I've been enjoying my work. It's everything I wanted to do, just as Sharon had promised. Though I miss working with Sharon, we live nearby and spend our private time almost like family. Sharon's husband and daughter are such a kind family that I've started to reconsider marriage, something I had given up on. Just then, I found an invitation in my mailbox when I got home. Opening it, I couldn't believe who it was from. Incredibly, Sandra had sent me an invitation to her wedding. I called Sandra. "Long time no see, Carol." "Carol, Sandra, how dare you send me an invitation? Do people normally invite the person who stole their fiancé to their wedding?" I could hear Sandra's triumphant laughter. "Poor Carol, lost Joseph and your job. I'm going to be happy, aren't I? Since you probably won't get married, I thought I'd let you at least feel the atmosphere out of kindness. You really are nasty. Joseph was really fooled by you. I'm a bit irritated that someone with Sandra's ethics took my fiancé, but more so at Joseph for betraying me so easily. No, maybe I'm the one to blame for trusting such a man. I'm not sure. I'll make sure to throw the bouquet your way, okay? I don't want to leave any hard feelings as I'm getting married." "Fine by me. I don't want to hold any grudges either. I'll come. I want to see Sharon, and I have no lingering feelings for Joseph." In truth, I have no regrets. Changing jobs has made me genuinely want to celebrate for them. I marked "will attend" on the invitation and sent it back. A week later, an unexpected visitor came to the office as I was about to leave. Someone suddenly called out to me from behind. "Long time no see, Carol. Been well?" I turned to find someone who looked like Joseph holding my shoulder. He looked like Joseph, but his appearance had changed drastically. "Joseph, you look different. You've lost a lot of weight." "Yeah, I'm getting married soon, so I dieted to look good in a tuxedo. What do you think? Fallen for me again?" This wasn't just weight loss. He looked haggard. "Really? Congratulations." "It's Sandra, right? You knew." "Hey, how about we get back together? I'm calling off the wedding." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Joseph was saying he was calling off the wedding again. What? Are you serious, Joseph? Now you're betraying Sandra? Well, the thing is, once we got engaged, Sandra stopped doing any housework, gained 33 LEBs and got pregnant. She's using pregnancy as an excuse to be lazy. That's not fulfilling her duties as a wife. But you, Carol, you've become more beautiful. Maybe I should marry you instead. You were crazy about me, right? Once again, I felt relieved not to be married. As much as I disliked Sandra, I couldn't help but feel a bit sorry for her. "No way. Why are you complaining when Sandra is carrying your child? If I had married you and gained weight, you would have dumped me too, right?" Breaking up was the right decision. Whether Sandra isn't doing housework or can't because she's struggling, you should be supporting her. In this day and age, anyway, I have things to do, so I'm leaving now. Bye. Joseph's unfocused eyes scared me, so I tried to leave quickly, but he grabbed my wrist. "Ouch! What? Let go. I don't want to be misunderstood by people around here. And I'll shout if I have to." "What's with you, Carol? You should have forgiven me for that one-time affair. My heart was always with you. You left too easily when I tested you. You never took me seriously, did you?" His grip on my wrist tightened, surprisingly strong for his animated arm. He dragged me into an alley, making it even harder to call for help. "Calm down, Joseph. If I call the police, you'll get arrested, you know." "I'll smash your mobile phone before you can call them. Go ahead, try me. At your old company, there's no place for you anymore. Sandra spread lies that you cheated, but if you get back with me, you can return to the company." Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, someone appeared behind Joseph. "Joseph and Carol, what are you doing? Cheating?" Perhaps Sandra showed up, barely recognizable. "No, it's not like that. I'm being harassed by your husband. Take him away." "No, this is definitely cheating, caught in the act. I'll sue both of you for compensation in the divorce." The enemy of my enemy was just another enemy. It seemed like a setup. "What, Sandra? After money again? The child isn't even mine, right? I'll sue you for compensation in the divorce." "What? There's no proof for that. Just so you know, if you do a DNA test, I'll sue you." Sandra and Joseph began arguing, each still an enemy to the other. "Excuse me, can I leave? I have a meeting to get to." "What do you mean, leave? This is all your fault, Carol. I took Joseph away because he was supposed to be promising, but it turns out it wasn't a lie. Of course Sharon, who's angry because I gave Joseph advice to get promoted and neglected me, is right. There's no way she would support me as she used to. I'll get evidence and sue you. I'll get a lot of compensation from you and Joseph and live a wealthy life. Sandra had something like a knife in her hand. Just when I thought things were getting really dangerous, someone else came to stop the fight. Carol, are you okay? I was worried, so I came to get you. It was Richard, a man I met at my new workplace. Why is Richard here? Sorry, I don't remember who you are. Sandra looked blatantly disappointed. Clearly, Sandra remembered him. But Richard didn't seem to remember. We had a meeting at the company about a year ago, though. I remember now. Thanks for everything, but why are you here? Well, actually, these two are the couple I told you about. They asked me to come to their wedding. Richard nodded, listening attentively. I was grateful for someone who listened like that. Ah, I see. Congratulations on your wedding. Hearing the word wedding, Sandra put on a sly smile and began a poor imitation of crying, approaching Richard. Oh, Richard, these two were cheating. They were holding hands just now. I can't go on living. Please help me. It seems Sandra was now targeting Richard. Certainly Richard is tall and handsome with a great personality. He's quite popular at the company. Don't say weird things in front of my fiancé. Fiancé? Sandra looked back and forth between me and Richard in surprise. Actually, we're getting married soon, so there's no way Carol could do that. Plus, we're living together now, so there's no chance for cheating. I'm crazy about Carol, you know. She was a friend from my student days, and I had a crush on her for so long. Sharon let me know about her, and I felt it was fate. I didn't want to regret not expressing my feelings, so I made a move. It's not fair. I had my eyes on him first. I'll give you Joseph in exchange for Richard. The wedding is soon, right? It would be perfect, wouldn't it? Joseph and Carol were engaged before. Why not get back together? Even then, Sandra was true to her desires, but Richard was out of her league. No way, that's impossible. I remember now, Sandra. You were pretty aggressive back then, but I love Carol. I wouldn't throw away a love that has finally come to fruition. Oh, speaking of throwing away Joseph, right? I've heard about it from Carol. You didn't want to say it in front of Carol, but you dumped her, right? Even though you were about to get married, I heard you cheated just before that's I got carried away. Suddenly, Richard turned his attention to Joseph, who started to panic. No, I'm grateful if it's about marriage. I had no choice but to give up, but then you broke up with her just before, and now I can't get married when I heard that a subordinate in the company was getting married. I didn't know it was Carol. Oh, I see. That's good then. Well, we'll be going. Since Richard appeared, Joseph had lost his energy. Why? I wondered because he just tried to get back with me and found out I had a fiancé. My question was answered by Sandra. Hey, why are you trying to leave on your own? Stop it. Richard is going to be the next president of our company. If you mess with him, we're done for. Someone was surprised by Joseph's response. Really? I never heard that. I was planning to keep it a secret, but it slipped out. I didn't want to tell because of my title, you know? Being chased by women after money is a trauma for me. I wanted a relationship. There wasn't about that. Dee wasn't at the last family meeting. Right, he did that for me. Actually, he likes Carol and wants to meet us soon. I didn't feel tested and angry as others might, because I think I should have tested Joseph when he cheated. I see. Well, I would have done the same. Oh, right, at the face-to-face meeting. It would have been revealed to the president, his dad, that's unfair. I want it. If they haven't met at the family meeting, they wouldn't have noticed if we switched right. Richard sighed and then answered Sandra with a smile. Don't worry. Dad knows about you, Sandra. Sandra's face lit up, but Richard's next words crushed her. Do you think I didn't know about the motel during work hours or the little trips you call business trips? You thought Joseph didn't notice without looking at Joseph. Richard spoke, turning the attention to Joseph, who was shocked and frozen. Please forgive me, tell that to Dad. I think you better confess yourself. Let's go. I was escorted by Richard and managed to escape this way. The two of them couldn't oppose us. Their quarreling echoed in the alley. The next day, they were called in and fired. Apparently, they had to pay damages and ended up with a huge debt for my settlement, company compensation, and wedding expenses. In the end, they divorced. Affairs like this don't last long. There are some who make it work, but they should follow the right steps. Otherwise, they change their minds. That's why there's no sense of crisis about infidelity or cheating. Turns out, Sandra was cheating too, and the child she had wasn't Joseph's. Angry, Joseph complained to his old colleagues, but no one sympathized since the false rumors had been corrected. I knew about this because Sharon told me. I returned to my old company, using my skills to get promoted. I was happy to be recognized for my efforts. Be thankful to me. I set you up with such a wonderful man, Sharon. I'll follow you forever, and please help me with my bride training. Sharon, my boss, a mother and sister figure, teaching me cooking despite her amusement. I have to be careful not to make Richard jealous lately. In the end, betraying others never leads to anything good. Joseph used to be decent. Oh, you're still too kind. Joseph's reputation was supported by you. I found out that at his previous company, his work wasn't well rated, and he just blamed the company and quit. I realized I might not be good at judging people, but I'm glad there are people who see me for who I am. It looks like